Mr. Oakley, Professor of Engineering, Oakley University and Arjuna University, USA. Honorable Guest of Honor, Mr. Mukesh Singh, Group Head, HR, Typical, Odisha. Respected Principal Cime, Professor Dr. Deepak Kumar Sao. Respected HOD MBA, Cime, Dr. Debasish Mohanty. Respected HOD MCA, Cime, Dr. Rajalakshmi Mishra. It is a pride for all of us that we have today with us 25th batch of MCA and 20th batch of MBA. The vision of this constituent college is to transform a future-ready institution that offers high-quality, industry-aligned education in management and technology, builds a culture of academic excellence, and create responsible professionals who drive innovation and contribute meaningful to society. This vision is not a promise. It is a commitment to transform rooted in reality. On behalf of Cime family, I, Dr. Vidya Das, member faculty, extend you all a very warm welcome. Together as a family of Cime, we mark another landmark of success. You are all aware that Cime, Bhubaneswar, a constituent college of BPUT, Odisha, which has written its own history and now adding pages for its vibrant presence in all fronts, under the dynamic leadership of Professor Dr. Amya Kumar Rath, whose fragrance is now not only limited to whole country, but also the top-notch global university in its academic pursuit, collaborative ventures, empowerment of faculties, research, student engagement, training and placement, and what not, to the land the university in the status of International Accredited University of Excellence. Sir, we feel proud of you indeed. We are also happy that today this 2 days orientation program is watched by not only fellow alumni, whose number is not in hundreds but also in thousands, fellow sister affiliated and constituent colleges, students and faculties of BPUT Odisha, and above all, parents of these newly enrolled students of MBA and MCA who are not with us for a beginning of professional careers of their sons and daughters, but make them responsive and above all to lead contained human being in a life. With this, I request our student volunteers to offer flower bouquet to our esteemed dignitaries on the dash. Thank you all. Light is a symbol of brightness and prosperity. As sunlight expels the darkness of night, similarly blessing brings in our life prosperity and happiness. I may now request the esteemed dignitaries to make orientation program a blessed one by invoke Lord Jagannath by candling the lamp of success and wisdom. Thank you all. Please play the BPUT anthem, and I appeal all the distinguished guests, invitees, dignitaries, and student media friends, fellow colleagues, and staff to bestow a mark of respect. It's in the word of our Odia Asmita, which encompasses how individuals and community perceive themselves, how they expect to be perceived by others, and how they project this self-image to the world outside. It reflects BPUT confidence and pride in Odia culture, language and heritage. The credit goes to none other than our BC, Professor Dr. Amir Kumar Rath. Please play the BPUT anthem. Thank you all. Please be seated. Music is to the soul what words are to the mind. To begin this auspicious event, I may now request our student volunteers for a welcome song for all of you. Thank you all volunteers. Today is a day of celebration, a day where dreams are nurtured and futures are built. It's an honor to greet these bright young minds who are stepping into new chapters of their lives. Your talents and ability will improve over time, but for that, you have to start. Today, we have dignitaries and one who is attracted by one and all with anxiety, and she is none other than Professor Dr. Oakley. But we need to have patience to hear her within a short time. But before her address, I would like to invite our beloved principal, Professor Dr. Deepak Kumar Sau, Principal Cime, who has done his master's, PhD and postdoc in humanities and management and has more than 2 decades of experience to offer his welcome address to this august gathering. Sir, please.
Good morning. Respected Chief Guest and Vice Chancellor BPUT University of Odisha, Professor Dr. Amir Kumar Raj. Honorable Chief Speaker, Mr. Satish Kumar Pradhan, Vice President, State Business Unit Head, Practice Center Head, Cognizant Odisha, Honorable Guest Speaker, Professor Dr. Barbara Oakley, Professor of Engineering, Oakland University, USA. Honorable Guest of Honor, Mr. Mukesh Singh, Group Head HR, Tata Power Distribution Corporation of Limited, Odisha. Mr. Ajit Kumar Sarangi, CTO, Chief Technical Officer, Odisha Skill Development Authority, who is of the dais today, and Dr. Debashish Mohanty, Head of the Department MBA, Dr. Rajlakshmi Mishra, Head of the Department MCA, and my fellow students, my colleagues, media friends, and parents of our beloved students. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to this important occasion, the 2 days orientation program of our new batch of MBA MCA students at Cime Bhubaneswar. Today, as we gather in this hall, we are not merely starting an academic calendar, we are beginning a journey of transportation, ambition, and opportunity. I feel particularly honored to welcome our guests of honor, amongst whom we are privileged to have with us a renowned academician from across the globe, Professor Dr. Barbara Oakley, Professor of Engineering, Oakland University, USA. Her presence today not only enriches the occasion, but also symbolizes the global outlook and aspirations we want our students to achieve. We also have distinguished leaders from industry and academia whose contributions inspire us deeply. We extend our warmest gratitude to all of you for being with us this morning. Dear students, choosing to pursue an MBA or MCA is more than an academic decision. It's a choice to develop leadership, innovation, and resilience, qualities the world needs now more than ever. You are stepping into a phase where knowledge is important, but equally important are adaptability, ethics, and the ability to work with people from diverse cultures and disciplines. Allow me to share a simple story. A group of young engineers once asked Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, former President of India. Sir, how do we ensure that we succeed in life? His answer was strikingly simple. Dream, dream, dream. Dreams transform into thoughts and thoughts result into action. As you begin your journey here, I urge you not to limit yourselves to academic grades or placements alone. Dream big, act with courage, and let your learning translate into meaningful action. At Cime, Bhubaneswar, it's the constituent college of most prestigious Biju Patnaik University of Technology, Odisha. We are committed to provide you with an ecosystem of learning, innovation, and collaboration. You will engage with rigorous classroom teaching, learning, real-life case studies, industry interactions, and research projects. But remember, education here will not be one-way traffic. It will be interactive and participative between your curiosity and the knowledge the world offers you. This orientation program marks the beginning of friendships, collaborations, and challenges that will shape your identity. You may stumble at times, you may even fail, but let every failure be a stepping stone towards success. The world respects not those who never fail, but those who rise every time they fall. As you begin this journey, I live with one thought: the future belongs to those who are prepared to learn, unlearn, and relearn. And the fact that you are here today means you have already taken the first step in shaping a future which will be meaningful for you, your family members, and the society. Back at Cime, we too have ambitious plans to see our institute stands tall with your dedication and our concerted efforts. On this 4th of August 2025, we have celebrated the Silver Jubilee of this institution. Now, we are on to our 26th year of meaningful existence. Our Vice Chancellor, Honorable Sri Roth, who has unveiled the 5-year institutional development plan of Cime on that day. We are going to make it happen by our collective efforts. In short, we would like to save 5 centers of excellence becoming operational, would achieve 100% admission and 100% placement as well. We would develop a startup ecosystem and incubation center here to see that 20 to 30% of our pass outs start their own ventures and become employers rather than asking for employment. Our faculty base shall be made more vibrant with induction of distinguished professors in the field of management and information technology. The NAAC accreditation process of our college is going to start shortly. The campus will be buzzed with academic activities where your aspirations shall be nurtured to make you globally competitive. Experts from different walks of life shall visit the campus to interact with you through our master lecture series and endowment lecture series. I am happy to announce that the same have already begun since last month. I urge upon you to reap the benefit by your participation and free and frank interaction with the experts. On behalf of the faculty, staff of Cime, I welcome you warmly once again. We look forward to seeing you grow into leaders, innovators, and global citizens. Thank you, and let us make this journey together truly memorable. May your time here be transformative, inspiring, and filled with purpose. Long live Cime. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for your warm welcome to our newcomers. I'm honored to introduce the dazzling icon of attraction of today's orientation program, and she is none other than our honorable guest speaker, Professor Dr. Barbara Oakley, Professor of Engineering, Oakland University and Arizona University, USA. Professor Oakley, if one visits her ladder of achievement in the Wikipedia, one will be certainly mesmerized. The meaning of Oakley means from the oak meadow or oak wood. It is a habitational name, originally derived from various places named in England containing oak and ley, which means meadow. The name signifies a connection to nature and evokes qualities of strength and resilience associated with the sturdy oak tree. But in true sense, she is a tree whose words are in the form of shades and whose writings are the opposite shores, and now crusader for the educated youth and innovations instructor. Her research in complex relationship between neuroscience and social behavior and has been acclaimed as a revolutionary in an international journal. Her area of teaching now on learning how to learn is highly appreciated, has earned the recognition many awards that includes American Society of Engineering Education. Her books includes Uncommon Sense Teaching, A Mind for Numbers, How to Excel at Math and Science, Mind Shift Breakthrough Obstacles to Learning and Discover Your Hidden Potential, and Learning How to Learn, How to Succeed in School and Colleges Without Spending All Your Time Studying. A Guide for Kids and Teens are few amongst many. She is a captain in the US Army, during which she was recognized as Distinguished Military Scholar, and she is the winner of McGraw Prize for Colloquial Nobel Prize for Education. She has now been the ambassador for Coursera that provide education of the time at the doorstep, and a partner to our state Odisha Skill Development Authority. Today we talk about AI, means artificial intelligence, and Madam will address now on a topic that's on ancient wisdom meets modern mind, learning in the age of artificial intelligence. I may now request Honorable Professor Dr. Barbara Oakley, Professor Engineering, Arizona University, USA, and distinguished scholar, writer, and above all pride of excellence to address our newcomers. Ma'am, please.
Okay, great. Okay, it's not showing on the screen. It's not showing on the screen.
Yeah, yeah. They're just switching it on, so
Okay.
it'll be visible. Don't worry.
Okay, great.
You also have a clicker.
Okay, I don't need those.
Yeah, yeah.
We're
It's set up.
good.
Let's not disturb this. I've just asked him to move the chairs a bit so that you can easily.
Oh, okay. Is
Yeah,
the
it
screen
is.
going to come on?
Yeah, it is gonna come.
Okay.
That's the projector.
Hello? No? Okay, it's not turned on.
So there's a small knob. It is.
Okay, okay, great.
Can you increase the volume? Do you want to speak and see how it is?
Hello, hello, hello.
You need more volume?
Hello, yeah, I think so. Okay. Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Oh, okay. This is the first time I've ever been introduced in terms of there being a tree with oak trees. And that is so perfect because Gandhi referred to education as the beautiful tree. And that is what you are all doing here, is spreading the limbs of that beautiful tree of education. Is this loud enough? I'm not sure. Okay, so I should, oh, wait a minute, I can't start because you can't see what I'm seeing. So let's see if we can get that up, I hope.
Projection.
So, oh, we need it? No? Oops. Okay. Well, let's try here.
I think
Oh,
you
is
have to
this,
duplicate your screen.
yeah, is this a wireless? If it's wireless, we're in trouble.
No.
Okay, let me do it. Sometimes you have to restart.
Yeah, she.
Okay. If it's a wireless and it's transmitting, we're gonna have trouble.
Ah.
We're gonna have big trouble. I didn't realize it was wireless. Is it?
I mean, it's wired.
Yeah. But they were showing, okay, so.
So on the
let's
display
go.
settings, just extend the screen, extend the display.
Okay, yeah, just, no, don't do anything. Don't touch it, don't touch it. It's coming up. Okay, come on. Why is it stuck? Okay.
डिस्प्ले सेटिंग्स नहीं हमको पहले पीपीटी ओपन करना है
हेलो 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 हेलो
Come on. Let's see.
व्हाट्स हैपनिंग
हेलो
It's not opening. Let me try going here, going here, and let's try this.
Is it because there is no internet or is it because
No, it should open just fine on my machine. I don't know why it's not. Come on. Open. I've never had this happen before. I've never had this happen.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, it opened completely fine, but what happened right now?
Yeah, it won't open at all.
Do you want to
It
restart
just sits.
the system?
Let me just try going over here. I will try here.
No, PPT is not opening. It's not the display thing.
Everything was all perfect.
Yeah.
should open just fine.
It did not take even this much time when you opened it a couple of minutes ago.
I've never, ever, ever had this happen.
You want to restart this system? Probably that.
Is it that it just needs extra time and I'm not giving it to it because I keep giving up and closing it?
Okay.
But it should come up.
The problem is not the HTML, it is our PPT is not opening.
If you remove this,
It will work?
maybe
What the heck?
Wow. Well, see, sometimes though, if you have this in, yeah, but how does,
Back in. Yeah.
okay, so let's see if we can,
Yes.
okay. Ah. Okay, so where's the microphone? Microphone. Okay,
Switch on the mic.
okay.
Hello. Hello.
Okay, good. Okay, that was just to keep you in suspense here. And I'm so glad to be here. I should give you a little bit of insight into my own background. So I grew up moving all over the United States. Now, by the time I was about 15 years old, I lived in 10 different places. Now, the one thing is that mathematics is very sequential. If you fall off anywhere along the way, it can be really hard to get back on. Well, when I was 7 years old, I was moving from Lubbock, Texas, where we talked like this, to Chelmsford, Massachusetts. I was only 7 years old, but they were far ahead of me in the multiplication tables. So I will be honest with you, I didn't like math anyway. So I just gave up on math and also on science. And I flunked, I failed all the way through elementary, middle, and high school math and science, which is kind of ironic because I'm standing here in front of you today as a distinguished professor of engineering, and I love math and science. So one day, one of my engineering students found out about my sordid, terrible past as a math flunky. And he said, "How did you do it? How did you change your brain?" And I thought about it. I was just this is me, yeah. It was when I was a little girl. I love this picture of me because it is the last cute picture of me. But I loved animals, and I liked knitting and weaving and all those kinds of things. I knew I could never grow up and do anything technical. So, but I thought, what do they call a person who speaks 2 languages? How about 1 language? They call them an American because a typical American speaks only 1 language. I was a typical American. I spoke only 1 language. And I thought, wouldn't it be really neat to be able to speak in 2 languages, perceive the world through 2 languages. So I couldn't afford to go to college, but I knew there was one way to actually learn a language and get paid for it, and that was to join the military. So that's me. I am looking really super nervous. I'm about to throw a hand grenade, and if you knew how clumsy I am, you would know why I look so nervous. But I did learn another language. I picked Russian, more or less at random. I ended up working out on Soviet trawlers up in the Bering Sea. I just loved having new adventures and seeing the world through different perspectives. So I also ended up at the South Pole Station in Antarctica, and that is where I met my husband. So I'd like to say I had to go to the end of the earth to meet that wonderful man. And that was 40 years ago, and I think the smartest thing I ever did was to say yes when he asked me to marry him. So I did everything that people told me to do. I followed my passion, and by following my passion and doing just what I loved, I found myself in a career box. And the reason for that was I was following my passion, but I wasn't looking at what the world needed. So when I went to get out of the military at age 26, all of my friends were West Point engineers. They were getting jobs easily, but nobody was knocking at my door saying, we've got to have your Slavic languages and literature skills. And so that's when I decided, now wait a minute, aren't I supposed to be open to new adventures and new perspectives? Why don't I try a new perspective of the mind and see if I can learn in math and science? So at age 26, I went to the university. I started at the lowest possible level of remedial high school algebra and slowly began climbing my way upwards. I felt like such an imposter. Everyone else at the university was smarter than I was. They seemed to have more talent, but I slowly kept working no matter what. And ultimately, now you see me as a professor of engineering. It wasn't easy, but if I'd known then what I know now about learning, I could have made it so much easier on myself. And this is what I want to help you with today, is to learn some tips and tricks of learning to help make your life in the university a lot easier. But we are living in a very, very special time. This is a revolution of generative AI. I never thought in my whole life that I would live in this kind of extraordinary, new, innovative time. And because it's so special this time, I want to also give you some insight on generative AI and how to use it wisely. So let us begin with I'm going to give you like a 2-minute history of generative AI. Now, there was a paper published in 2017 called Attention is All You Need. And this paper was published in the Neural Information Processing Systems Conference, and my co-instructor in the MOOC, in the online course on Coursera, Learning How to Learn, is Terrence Sanowski, and Terry is the president of this conference. And Terry told me, he said, they submitted this paper, and we thought it was nothing special at all.
So we put it off in a corner, and it was given by some graduate students. But it turns out this paper is so important that it has been cited over 150,000 times because it introduced the idea of the transformer. What's a transformer? Well, in essence, it has the encoder where you feed in the prompt, and it has the decoder where it puts out the answer to whatever your prompt is. How many of you here use ChatGPT? Pretty much everybody. Okay, how about Claude? How many of you use Claude? Oh, poor Claude. Claude is really good. That's from Anthropic. And how about Gemini? Okay. I'm just curious here. Okay, so all of those engines are powered by transformers. That's underneath the hood, if you really look. But from our perspective, what we really care about is that the flow of information through transformers is remarkably similar to the flow of information through the human brain. That's no surprise because, as it turns out, neuroscientists and AI experts have been working hand in hand through the decades to help one another advance their fields. Whenever AI experts would get stuck, artificial intelligence experts, they'd turn to neuroscientists and say, hey, how's the brain do this? And whenever neuroscientists would get stuck, they'd go to AI experts and say, hey, can you model this? So there is a remarkable similarity in how they work. And if we know a little bit about how our brain works, we can actually use AI more effectively. And also, if we know a little about AI, we can use our brains more effectively. So let's dive into our brain and see how we learn. What happens when you're learning? If you look, the brain has one fundamental building block, at least from our perspective, and that's the neuron. And I wish you could see your faces right now. You're like, oh no, this is where she gets to the super boring scientific part. So let's spice it up a little bit. This is our metaphor for a neuron, and this metaphor will help us understand that neuron much more quickly. So this is a space alien. The space alien has 3 legs. Those are called dendrites on real neurons. Real neurons can have dozens of legs, even hundreds. And then there's these little toes on the legs. Those are called dendritic spines. And then we've got an arm called an axon that reaches out. And what neurons do is they like to reach out and tickle the toe of an adjoining neuron. What this really means is that they are sending signals. They're mostly electrical signals. They jump that little gap with some neurotransmitters. And when you're learning something, anything, you are simply making connections between neurons in long-term memory. This is whether you are learning a new coding language or learning how to take a derivative in math, how to conjugate a verb in a foreign language, how to hit a cricket ball. Whatever you are learning, you're simply connecting links between neurons in long-term memory. Now, unfortunately, we have had educators say, you know, it's not important to memorize things anymore. You can always look it up. That is not true. Actually, if when you, like nursing students in Finland, they are actually endangering patients because they don't know by heart what the multiplication tables are. And if you said to such a student, 12 times 12 is 279, is that right? Something inside you says, that's wrong. If you don't have that knowledge inside you, you can't think critically about generative AI. I had an engineering student come marching up to me once. He'd flunked this test, and he goes, how could I have flunked this test? I understood it when you said it in class. The thing is, we've gotten so overboard in the field of education that conceptual understanding is the only golden key to learning, that we overlook the fact that if you can't remember what you understood, you really haven't learned it. And this is where India can have an advantage, because you still have respect for some old, traditional, and yes, sometimes rote ways of learning that can actually be valuable. So how do you strengthen those connections between neurons? Well, you practice. And practice makes things strong. If you don't practice, what can happen is your little synaptic janitor can sweep those connections away, and then what you thought you learned is actually gone. So learning it involves strengthening those links so you can easily pull them to mind. But now I want to give you a little trick in your learning. So if you think about it, when you learn something, let's say that you know how current, the flow of water occurs. Because when you were a little kid, you played in the water. And it's actually not an easy concept for a little kid to get. It takes a while to get it. But once you have that idea of how water flows, you can use that as a metaphor to help explain how electrical current flows. Now, of course, at a quantum level, the metaphor breaks down, but it gets you much further in your learning. In fact, metaphors are one of the most powerful tools we have to help you learn more easily and more effectively. I wrote to thousands of top teachers and professors in the English language, asked them what their top tip was, and they said it was the use of metaphor and analogy. When you're stuck on a concept, just find a metaphor. But where do you find a metaphor? Ask ChatGPT. It works great. So I'm going to give you one example. So let's say you're learning about main guard and scope in Python programming. Well, ask ChatGPT for a metaphor, and what it will tell you is that main guard is like the gatekeeper of a castle, and scope is like the rooms within the castle. And of course, you'll get lots more besides. Now, besides this, though, you can, don't just ask for one metaphor. Ask for 5 metaphors. Tell it a little about yourself, and you'll get some really good ideas, especially when there's a concept that you're really struggling because you can't understand it. Okay, so now it is time for a test. I am going to ask you what you think is the single best way for students to learn. I'm going to give you 4 options, and then we're going to vote. So, is it rereading? I did a lot of rereading when I was studying engineering. Highlighting or underlining, or retrieval practice, recall, like using a flashcard, or is it creating a concept map? So we're going to vote now. You can only vote for one thing. So how many vote for rereading? Anybody? How about underlining or highlighting? There's a few, okay. How about retrieval practice or flashcards? Okay, a few, quite a few. How about concept maps? Oh, concept maps wins. Okay, you ready? Keep you in suspense again, haha. No, okay, so the answer is retrieval practice. And the reason for that is when you first learn something, you get these weak links in long-term memory. But every time you pull those ideas from your own mind, you strengthen those links. Now, I know some of you are going to think, well, yeah, that's for trivial facts, but it's not for higher Bloom's taxonomy sorts of issues. Yes, it is. Depends on what kind of retrieval practice questions you ask. Michael Nielsen, the physicist, would ask himself, what was this theorem that he was struggling with? And he would retrieve it on his walks each day. And do you know, by pulling it to mind and visualizing, he actually came up with a new way of proving this theorem that was far easier than before. Now, in the US, they decided that trivial facts were not important. So history students didn't need to learn dates anymore because that was just trivial. Now, we have this phenomenon called the Civil War that happened in the 1800s with Abraham Lincoln as the president. And we have the civil rights movement that happened in the 1900s with Martin Luther King. Because students didn't learn those trivial dates anymore, they thought, Civil War, civil rights sounds like the same thing. Martin Luther King must have known Abraham Lincoln. They were friends. They really misconstrued and misunderstood history because they didn't have a simple set of facts surrounding the dates of important events. If you want to think critically about AI, you need to have facts within your own brain. And I can't emphasize that enough. It's you practice, you build those links in your own brain, and if you don't have those links within your own brain, whatever it tells you will seem right. I'll give you another example. I have a friend who wrote a book, and he sent it to me. He was so excited. It was 260 pages. And I read the whole book, and it was the worst book I have ever read. It was repetitive, it was predictable, terrible writing. It had everything wrong you could possibly imagine. How could my friend, a well-educated PhD, have sent me something so horrific? It was because great writers will often tell you the way to become a great writer is to read lots of books. He had not read lots of books. He had no internal knowledge of what a good book entailed. So he could ask ChatGPT, get something out, look pretty good to him, but he didn't know. He didn't have that knowledge inside. So let's take, so if there's one important idea I want you to take away from this talk, It's do not rely on ChatGPT to do all your thinking for you, because you will never acquire the expertise yourself if you don't have those facts in your brain. And I'll show you now in a deeper way why this is true. If we look, we have a large language model within our own brain. Now, I had mentioned that we have links that we put in our long-term memory when we learn something. But I was tricking you. Actually, there's two ways that those links can be laid. And you don't need to remember the neuroanatomy or any of these terms. I just want you to remember there's two different learning systems. So the first one takes information from working memory, that's in the prefrontal cortex. It's where you hold things temporarily in mind. It goes through the hippocampus and into long-term memory. That's called the declarative pathway. So this one is, you're conscious of this thinking. And the other pathway is the automatic pathway through the basal ganglia. You need both types of links to be able to think efficiently. If any of you have heard of the famous economist or psychologist Daniel Kahneman, wrote a book called Thinking Fast and Slow. So that hippocampal system, that's slow thinking. I'll give you a little sense of it. So if we look, this blue declarative system, that's slow, and the orange automatic system is the fast system. It does things instantly, but you're not aware of it. So let's say we're solving a math problem. You're conscious of what you're doing. You basically say, okay, I'm going to figure this out step by step, and then you see if you've solved the problem. You're conscious of it. And then, let's say, though, that you want to, you want to hit a baseball. You want to learn how to hit a baseball. So you do this learning without being conscious of what you're learning. So you're basically saying, okay, hands, hit the baseball. So you tell your basal ganglia, hit the baseball. You see if you hit it the right way, but you have no idea how you are learning to hit that baseball. It's like magic. Okay, so which system is this one? Fast or slow? Slow? Okay, which one's this one? Fast. Okay, so let's see if we can get a little quicker here. Okay, what's this one? How about this one? How about this one? Okay, and this one? Okay, so how do we learn something without being aware we learned something? Especially if it's so fast. The way it happens is we have a deep neural net in our brain in the basal ganglia. We have some of these nets elsewhere, but we're going to focus on this one. When you tell yourself, okay, I want to hit the baseball, what happens is you say, hit the baseball, you're trying to hit that baseball, and the signal propagates through, and then you see if you successfully hit the baseball. Oh no, I hit it off there. I didn't want to go that way. So you try again, and you try again, and you're strengthening some connections, and you're weakening other connections. And this set of weighted connections, look, every one of these circles is a neuron. And the line is like the axon, dendritic spine, and dendrite going to the next neuron. So it's called the deep neural net because it has a layer of these neurons that feed information forward and also feed information backwards. So you might say, well, that's great for learning motor skills, but what about other skills? Turns out that this system is how you learn your native language. It's like our little granddaughter, who I was showing Mahesh and saying, oh, this is my little granddaughter here. She's 2 years old. She's learning to speak. And when she says, mama, 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 my daughter gets so excited. She said, mama. And our little granddaughter gets reinforcement. So she's training her neural net. That trained neural net is called the value function. That's the set of values that are kind of weighted into that net. It's not just, well, this system is really strong in young people. That's why younger people can learn a new language more easily. As you go into adolescence, this system becomes more powerful. And it turns out this system is basically very similar to how large language models like ChatGPT and Gemini are trained. You've got one in your own brain. So if you're always offloading your information, what's happening is you're not training your own brain. And you're not getting the ability, the expertise to actually, be an expert in whatever you're studying. So let's look, I just want to show you a little bit more. And this relates to something called the Flynn effect. And in this effect, it was found from the 1930s to the 1970s, IQ scores around the world were going up. Wow. Researchers said, you know why? It's because of education, great education systems that are doing this. So universities teaching well. But guess what? Since the 1970s, IQ scores in Western countries have been declining. How could that be? Well, what happened in the 70s? That is when calculators came out. And when calculators came out, it wasn't the calculators that were the problem. It's people going around saying, you don't need to remember things. You can always just look it up. And if we're not careful, in this year, there'll be even a further decline if you start always offloading to ChatGPT and using some of these AI devices. You want to make sure that cognition of yours is staying in good shape. And incidentally, people will often say things like, we teach critical thinking. But critical thinking foundationally involves teaching, making sure students have the facts. And that has not been taught. So it's quite interesting. Just be very careful about ChatGPT. Now, I do want to give you a little sense of how you can motivate yourself in your learning. And as it turns out, if you can get curious about what you're learning, it can make an enormous difference in helping improve your learning. And I'll show you what I mean. Dopamine is known as sort of the feel-good molecule. It's an anticipatory molecule. And it is elicited in the brain when you get something as an unexpected reward. So it turns out that dopamine it's sent out by dopamine neurons in the ventral tegmental area. If you get curious about something, it goes throughout the brain. But if, particularly in that area where you're focusing on something you're trying to learn, and incidentally, mice that get their little dopamine systems inactivated can't learn anything new. So let's say you're curious about a problem. So you're trying to figure it out. You're working on it. You keep trying to figure out, but you're not getting the solution to this problem. And so ultimately, you keep trying because you're curious. You get a solution. Guess what that dopamine does? It sprinkles along these neural connection or these neural pathway, and that is how you get those neural links together. So if you are curious about something, it will actually help you focus better on what you're trying to learn. So just ask ChatGPT for ideas about how you can become more curious about whatever you're trying to learn. Here I am on the world's ugliest little pony in Mongolia, but he was really a cute little guy. And the professors in Ulaanbaatar said, we don't know how to teach to students coming in off of the Mongolian steppe because they don't know anything about Python programming and they don't care. So I said, go to ChatGPT and ask for some ideas to help motivate. And sure enough, it gave some great metaphors and ways of hooking students in terms of yurts and, migratory patterns and all of this kind of thing. So I do want to say that Coursera has some wonderful, wonderful courses that can really hook you. There you can see I'm actually standing on the ramparts of Damascus, working with world-class neuroscientists, and you can see that the kind of courses that you are able to get from Coursera have some really intriguing and fun ways of learning the material. So there's also, so you can see, what do they have? Retrieval practice, but also like a lot of fun and interactivity and peer-to-peer. So it's really got some great insights. And I have to mention our latest course is Speak Freely, Think Critically. And what's happened at universities is that they have often gotten so enamored of making a safe space for students that you don't feel safe actually saying anything that's a bit controversial or even necessary to be talked about. This course walks you through how to have a good constructive dialogue, even on things that you might disagree with. So, as I'm wrapping up, I want to say there are some, every brain has a different bath of neurochemicals in it. And some people have a bath that involves slow learning. That's me. When I memorize a vocabulary list, because I'm trying to learn Spanish for a little granddaughter, and when I memorize it, by night, I've forgotten most of what I learned. Now, if you look, that's where my previous dendritic spines were when I first memorized a vocabulary list. And the next day, I have to try again. But look, when I memorized the second day, I changed the configuration. This means I can be more flexible. If I learn something, I forget and I relearn, and I can relearn a little differently. Really, have you ever met really smart people? They're fast learners. They don't seem to forget anything, like they memorize a vocabulary list and they got it all. Well, the thing is, that sounds good. You may want to have this kind of memory, but it isn't necessarily the best, because you can be inflexible. You can jump to conclusions and be unable to change your mind. So we've got fast learners, race car learners, get to the finish line really fast. Slow learners, hiker learners, who get to the finish line much slower, but they can reach out and touch the leaves on the trees. They can hear the birds. Completely different experience, and in some ways, much richer and deeper. The world needs both kinds of learners. And I'd like to close by just pointing out my favorite scientist of all times. That's Santiago Ramon y Cajal. And Cajal was a terrible learner. He did horribly through school. He only decided in his 20s to try to become a doctor, which, given the fact that he had dyslexia and attentional disorders, was pretty tough. He eventually won the Nobel Prize and is now considered the father of modern neuroscience. And he was asked, how did you do it? I mean, given the fact that you were not coming from a very promising background. He said, I was persistent. He used retrieval practice. And he said, I was no genius. And he wasn't. But he said, I have worked with many geniuses. And the problem with geniuses is they can jump to conclusions, and when they're wrong, they can't change their minds. So if you, like Ramon y Cajal, are no genius, rejoice, because you can sometimes do things that even geniuses cannot. So thank you so much. And if you'd like more on the neuroscience, this is our latest paper, which goes really quite deeply into it. It's actually one of the most popular papers on SSRN. And if you'd like to give me a little bit of a sense of what your interests are and so forth, please do fill out the survey. And with that, I thank you.
Felicitation. Thank you, ma'am, for your words of wisdom to our students. Today is for you. We met our program live, and thousands are watching will expect to celebrate your life memory in the land of Lord Jagannath. Address us and our student. We promise to follow you and your words of mouth. Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Please give a big round of applause to madam. To acknowledge and honor our chief guest, Professor Dr. Amiya Kumar Rath, Vice Chancellor BPUT Odisha, I may now request Professor Dr. Deepak Kumar Sahu, Principal Cime, to felicitate him with a token of memory. Thank you, sir. Further, I would like to request our Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Amya Kumar Rath, to felicitate our honorable guest speaker, Professor Dr. Barbara Oakley, Professor Engineering, Oakland and Arizona University, USA. Thank you, sir. Once again requesting Vice Chancellor Professor Dr. Amya Kumar Rath to felicitate our Honorable Chief Speaker Mr. Satish Kumar Pradhan, Vice President SBU Head Practice Center Head Cognizant Odisha. Thank you, sir. Further, I would like to request once again to our Vice Chancellor to felicitate Honorable Guest of Honor, Mr. Mukesh Singh, Group Head HR, Typical Odisha. Thank you, sir. Once again, I request our Vice Chancellor to felicitate Ajit Kumar Sarangi, CTO, OSDA. Thank you, sir. Last but not the least, once again request our Vice Chancellor to felicitate Mr. Harsh Arya, Unitech Engineering, Coursera, Implementation Partner of OSDA. Thank you. Thank you all dignitaries on the dash. I am honored to introduce our honorable guest of honor, Mr. Mukesh Singh, Group Head HR, Typical Odisha. Mukesh Singh did his Masters in Business Administration in the year 2002. He has 22 years of rich experience in the field of human resource. He started his career as HR officer in Birla VXL Limited, Faridabad in the year 2003 and worked till 2006. From 2006 to 2014, he worked as assistant manager in SR Limited, Noida. Further, he joined SL Infra Projects Limited as head administration and HR and worked from 2014 to 2020. Currently, he is serving as Group Head HR at Tata Power Distribution Corporation Limited from 2021 to till now. I may now request Honorable Guest of Honor, Mr. Mukesh Singh, Group Head HR, Typical Odisha, for his deliberation to this August gathering. Sir, please.
Hello. Respected Principal Sir, Vice Chancellor Sir, Satish Sir, distinguished guest present here on dais, and lovely children and the parents of children. It is truly honor to be here in orientation program today. First of all, I would like to congratulate all of you because you have achieved many milestones and reach here and secure your admission in this prestigious institute. Actually, the moment is mark the beginning of new chapter in your life. It's this the professional course which you are going for MBA and MCA. It's add new value in your life. Stepping into college like stepping into a bigger world. Now the transformation has been done from childhood to adulthood, which bring a sense of responsibility, accountability, learning or adaptability. In as someone walk off this path where you are starting now, so we would like to share some experience which help you to achieve the successful learning here in institute, and when you finish your education, then you will meet person like us, because I am from HR fraternity, and when you finish your education, first interaction will happen with me. So we hiring labor to CEO. So actually we feel that the some quality require for hiring, which I am telling one by one, and you mark in your mind. So being a Tata employee, we seek, actually your skill is less, we hire, but we seek some traits which you have in you. The curiosity is the growth drive of your future. Hence, the never ever stop the learning, asking questions, whether on your project, your classroom, or explore new things. Because the scenario is changing in very fast way. Now, the world is in a single room, और पॉकेट में रॉकेट है भाई, मीन्स एक मोबाइल आपको पूरे दुनिया से जोड़ रही है. So this is wonderful changing happening in the world, and in this world how you suit yourself, that is much important, and how you use the equipment wisely, it is important than the other thing. So this journey, learn, explore and adopt. So it help you to learn new thing, innovate new thing and explore new thing. How it help to the organization? Actually, when we have taken over the SESU, so there was no safety thing, no technology, no infrastructure. You ask your parent when they visited for the paying Bijli bill, they will tell you the story of the infrastructure. But today, you will pay your bill from mobile. Actually, we are planning to generate a QR code for individual consumer who never goes to the any office. We will paste that QR code on their meter. They go and they pay there. So that is the importance of this technology. Before that, the all grid and the panel operated by the human. But now, with help of technology, we have a control room, and from where we control the panels and grid and substations. from one room to entire TPCODL. Actually, we are operating 4 DISCOM, but presently we are talking because we are in Bhubaneswar, so we are talking about the TPCODL. So, the changing we have seen and transformation we have done is tremendous. Now you go to the any office, you will get air conditioned, drinking water, everything. So I am the witness of the transformation, and it is a wonderful experience here which we did. The second is take responsibility, the ownership. See, when you will join a company or when you came in this institute, you are the ambassador of this institute. So, wherever you go, you always mind the image of the institute. You never made such mistake which destroy image of the institute, and this habit bring to the company. So when you join a company, what company want from you that because of you no image hamper of the company. So that quality you need to build. The never afraid to be fail. The experiment everywhere you do. Actually, we are in Tata Power. We have a lot of program for the experiment. So we encourage 2 person to do the experiment and we fail. So once you have habit of the failure, then you will handle many things. Actually, see, the rejection, the skill and the rejection, the behavior and skill is a different thing. Skills means you have knowledge of artificial intelligence, but behavior is emotional caution, that is called EQ. Means अभी आपने सुना रहेगा कि एक बैंक मैनेजर अपने बैंक में हैंग कर लिया अपने आप को, अपने इमोशन पे कंट्रोल नहीं कर पाया. ही वॉज स्किल्ड बट ही इज नॉट इमोशनल कॉशियस. सो द वे you handle the rejection is the most important tools. How bounce back you strongly and wisely of that rejection or that failure is the most important aspect of your career, your professional age. The other thing is look beyond the classroom. So what you will do? The professor sir will teach you as per the syllabus. But what you do? You join other clubs where some innovation is going on. Some management people, like-minded people meet there. And subscribe good journals which help you to enhance your IQ. And that help you brainstorming, means keep a session for your with your colleagues, with your peers for brainstorming. You think an idea beyond of the boundary and storm your brain upon that idea. You will get a good conclusion. At that conclusion, make you entrepreneur. So that entrepreneurship journey will make you successful people. So brainstorming is very much required after your class or after your education. Be kind and respectful for everyone, whether your Guruji, sir, professor, teacher, to your housekeeping person who give you the class in a neat way position. So the attitude of gratitude is very much required everywhere. So I would like to suggest that these traits require for be a good professional, and this all quality will look before hire. Always mind that you are not future of this college, you are future of the community, you are future of our industries and nation. So what you act, what you speak, it is sensible. The behavior shows your education. That is the vital role of educations or good institution. So actually we have less time. Sir given me only 7 or 8 minutes. That is why I once again congratulate all of you, and thank you, sir, for inviting me here. And we will meet by time and time again. I keep coming to coach you, groom you for our industries, for our company, and we seeking cohesive partnership with the dynamic your principal, sir, and we looking forward for a better future. Happy learning and keep joyful learning. Never take a stress. You learn what you learn, deep digging, keep deep digging. जो सब्जेक्ट आप पढ़ें उसमें अच्छे से ज्ञान रखें. जरूरी नहीं है सारे सब्जेक्ट आना चाहिए, बट कुछ सब्जेक्ट है वो सब्जेक्ट में आपको फुल ज्ञान होना चाहिए. मीन्स एक्सपर्टाइज इज रिक्वायर एवरीवेयर एंड इट मैटर. थैंक यू सो मच.
Thank you, sir. It's true, pocket mein rocket hai. Thank you, sir, for your insightful thoughts. Our students and Cime will have high expectation for a student internship placement, as Cime is the constituent college of BPUT, Odisha. Will also not hesitate to be a part of a survey on customer satisfaction on power consumption in the state of Odisha by the students of Cime, Bhubaneswar. Thank you, sir. I may now request Ajit Kumar Sarangi, Chief Technical Officer, OSDA, to address our newcomers and guide our students for free course, which will be value addition under a scheme Nuwa Odisha of Odisha Skill Development Authority to gain practical and theoretical knowledge. Sir, please.
Good morning. My name is Ajit, and I took the privilege to address all of you. Am I audible? Am I audible in the back? Okay. This is, it's okay. This is my privilege to address all of you, the nice gathering. I'll typically address 2 points, which I thought of everybody, Professor, our VC and Professor Sir and everybody has talked about many things that we should do it now. I'll focus on only 2 things. What we preach as from the OSDA, Odisha Skill Development Authority, we say learnability, learning. Learning is the key word. Learning in the sense that till now, till now I have already 38 years I have crossed in the industry. Still I have to learn. Otherwise there is no place for me on the industry. So you have to learn till the end of your life. That is the first. Second one is learn. Third one is learn. Learn, learn, and learn. This is the key concept of us. And for the success, you need to learn till the end. What we say, we extend that learnability to three things. One is relearn, cross-learning, and then upscaling, up-learning kind of things. As a OSTA, we always say you have to start learning from the day one. Coursera is our partner, and we have enough offerings, 6,000 plus offerings through Coursera to everybody, to engineers, to the ITI, to polytechnics, and also for the higher education students. We offer the Coursera typically courses, licenses, so that you will be learning everything. Okay. The second point I just wanted to highlight is, this is the best time. This learning, I mean, in the sense as a student of this college, is the best time on your life to enjoy. Once you cross this, studentship and go for the employee in one of the, institute or in one of the college or in one of the institute, then you are binded by certain things. And after that, you will have a hope, aspiration that you will grow in the ladder, success, career, and all the things. Here, you have no bindings or no constraints. Only one thing you have in your mind is how to learn and how to utilize your time. That is the key aspect where you can utilize your time. And then, what is happening on this whole world is, everybody is talking about artificial intelligence, right? Artificially, how it is going to improve your productivity and everything. I say you have to increase your actual intelligence here in this, three things, 3 years or 2 years or your course, on your MBA course, you have to do it. You have to learn and say that how I will be utilized, how I am, how I can utilize my experience in your company. Your company will take you based on your actual intelligence. So use artificial intelligence to increase your actual intelligence and get your employability. Our focus is, as OSTA, we say for the whole Orissa, how the employability has to increase, will be increased. That is only one line of mission for us. Increase the employability of Orissa by learning, using Coursera and using many partners. We used to do it for the whole mass. That's short message for you, and I am always available, and I keep using very frequently. I used to come here for anything. If you need to know or interact with me, you can call me. You can reach me in my number. I'll give the number after this whole thing. I'll be passing on the number. You can send me the email also. I'm available in the email also. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. As sir rightly said, increase your employability and help Orissa to increase the state employability by enrolling yourself in value addition courses. Thank you, sir. Now it's time to introduce our Honorable Chief Speaker, Mr. Satish Kumar Pradhan, Vice President SBU Head, Practice, Center Head, Cognizant, Orissa. Mr. Satish Kumar Pradhan is a distinguished IT industry leader with close to 3 decades of experience. He has helped Fortune 500 companies over complex data and analytics challenges, creating innovative solutions that have driven significant business transformation and growth. Currently, as Vice President and SBU Head for AI and Analytics at Cognizant and serving as Center Head in Bhubaneswar. He oversees a business generating over $450 million annually across multiple industries, including banking, financial services, communication, technology, media, and telecom. His expertise span planning, strategy, business operation, finance, workforce management, and analytics. Srijukta Pradhan will address on the topic that is more important and all must be eagerly waiting to listen him, and it's the career opportunities for MBA and MCA students, experience of industries from academic institutions, latest development in industry after AI or machine learning. May I now request Honorable Chief Speaker Mr. Satish Kumar Pradhan to deliberate to our newcomers. Thank you. Sir, please.
Good afternoon. All are hungry, got bored, and last 2 hours. Still curious? I have noted some, points. I will talk about that actually. And this session is again learning for me. First of all, before I started, I just wanted to congratulate all of you. You have already completed your bachelor's, right? You are into master's right now. And I wanted to thank Deepak sir and Amir sir for giving me this opportunity. I'm really excited and thrilled also to be here. Not just about, I wanted to share my experience, but this is again a unique opportunity for me to learn something. Professor Dr. Barbara, the way you have demonstrated, I have never got into that era of neuroscience to understand how underneath things happens. Our discussions always goes to implementations from customers, get into technology. We go up to the LLMs or SLMs. That's where, but how the LLMs were developed using the neuroscience and what all things. And I think we keep hearing those things, but the real important thing is what is underneath. And if you consciously practice on the science behind, memorization or, recovery of whatever things you learned, those are really remarkable things. This is something for all of us and even for me also. So thank you, Professor Dr. Barbara, for giving this lecture. There are, it's always nice to be with a lot of young students. I normally go to any universities or any college for discussion. I always see potentials in each student, how they will contribute to the industry after they complete their course. So first word, right, I'll talk about curiosity. I think in each and every topic that has come as curiosity. And first, the folks are what told is adaptability. And Mr. Singh talked about what? Ethics, learning, don't fear not for failure. What does it mean to all of you? Anyone? Sorry? Excellent, good. Anybody? Anyone? From last bench, last side of the rows. See, these all are very, important topics that you need to be practicing. But on top of that, how much attention you have given to each and every speech. Everybody, whoever has given or talked over here, there is a certain message in each and every person's entire experience. The way I wanted to even thank BPUT and as well as Cime for organizing such events that gives immense knowledge to all the students who come part of this institute it is not easy that you will get the knowledges from people who is already practicing in that industry and directly hear from them. It is, and it is not that only you talk about what is that, the message has been given. It is something they are talking from their entire lives practicing. What is that they have learned? Sometime, I believe, from all the students, maybe around 200, 300 students will be there. All of you will become like one of us, some point in time. And you all must be curious about it. You must be thinking, how will you spend next 2 years in this institute so that you get into a job and at some point in time you will reach at this stage. We talked about artificial intelligence now. Change will always be coming to humans. As long as human being is there, we will be experiencing changes. You talk about, you have seen, right? I mean, we have studied, like, when humans were evolving, we were on what? Wheels. Then it has come what? Steam engine. Then it has come electricity, electronics. And each and everything, the way it has changed, human is only one species. They have that adaptability. They will adapt to those things. And the way we see that the entire way of living, the way of acting is changing in that society. IT industry is also not left out. IT industry, be it engineers or administrators, this is also completely changing. When we started our career, we were living on fragmented transactional data. There was we were not thinking of artificial intelligence. In my 28 years of experience, prior to that there were so many were there. But what is that my experience? We were living in individual pieces, fragmental transactional data that has slowly evolved into system of records. We started storing the data. We started keeping the record of each and every transaction. Earlier only transaction happens. Then we started storing the data. When we got mastery, that means the entire IT fraternity has built that they got mastery into system of records that has gone beyond, and is called system of engagements. How will you engage with customers? How will you interface with your business people? So all that IT industry is being changing. Now the era is system of intelligence. Anything, everything we do, unless we are keep adapting to the new technologies, we need to be very strong on fundamentals. We will not be able to sustain in the industry. And believe me, when you talk about IT industry, right now IT industry is continued to be a growth industry. It's a major driver for economic growth. It is helping to bring lot of innovations, new startup companies, giving lot of employments. In that, India is continue to prosper, but things are not easy. Things are not easy at all. If you see what's happening in the world, when you are getting into any job, you will be serving to the humans in this world, right? What's happening right now is all industries are on tremendous pressure. Pressures are from different horizons. Geopolitics is a bigger pressure on the industry. Changing regulations across countries, again a bigger pressure. Evolving technologies, artificial intelligence, generative AI, that is a threat. All companies are also thinking, how can we adapt that? Again, within IT companies, competition, that is again threat. So, all companies are thriving towards how to navigate all those complexities, still we will prosper, and our always thrive towards how can we make IT industry associates more productive than the tools we build. We are only building, humans, IT department is only building this generative AI, create LLMs, large language models or small language models. You take any of these hyperscalers, Google, Amazon, Microsoft, any of the hyperscalers, all IT department only building. But unless each one of us in this room being mastery on that, we will not be ahead. That is what is always we thrive. We talked about Coursera. Even I also I also take Coursera's lessons. We promote, because after pandemic, no more we just stick to a classroom. We go to academia, we training it. We train ourselves. You talk about Coursera or Udemy, we have our online courses. We take all those stuff. I think the learning is something you cannot miss it. The way industry is completely changing, adapting to artificial intelligence and generative AI, it is mind-boggling. If you read Gartner's Symposium survey, they normally survey to all CEOs of companies to understand how the future of IT, how the future of work will be happening. In 2021, when that survey, every year the survey happens, by the way. When 2021, the survey happened, I don't remember, 14 or 16% of CEOs, they told that AI will impact the business. I think it's not more than 14 to 16% in 2021. And every year it started increasing. The latest one, if you see, 78% CEOs, they tell that their business is going to be impacted by artificial intelligence, generative AI, agentic AI. Because the pressure that is coming from everywhere, the productivity gain using technologies, be it on software development life cycle, creation of new softwares, creation of new content, different ways how can we engage with our customers, different ways how can the new product can be built using these technologies. Those all are is the ask from end users. So when end user asks, all those translates to those companies. Everybody right now is thinking that unless they adapt those technologies, survival will be difficult. Survival will be, it will be like they will be vanish in some point in time. What does it make sense to all of you? While getting this kind of facilities, these institutes, try to understand what is happening around the world also. When you are getting into this course, right, you have to first think you have a goal. You want to get into a job in 2027 or 2028, 2027, you wanted to go. So you have only 2 years with you. These 2 years, unless you spend for you, it will be really challenging, because the way I discussed 2021, when 14 or 16% CEOs told in 3 years that has changed to 78%, you can understand new technologies will be coming. Now generative AI, agentic AI is already in play. That means whatever work that is being happening by humans, step by step process, all those things, different agents are coming and they are sitting next to humans, next to us, and they do the job. So the ask may be something different after 2 years from industry. Industry may not ask the same thing that you are studying now. That's exactly why you just need to understand, apart from the curriculum workshops or curriculum and the syllabus, think of what is happening in the industry. What is the technology trend? What is the asks? And try to see that are you acquiring those knowledges also as you study. See, my son is in BITS Pilani. I hardly get time to talk with him. His classes starts morning 9, evening 5 o'clock, all classes are gone. He is part of in some clubs, some studies, and almost every alternate day he tells me there is an exam. Till night 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, I will not be able to get a chance to talk to him. So, that is the kind of trend. Or if you are saying that is the kind of trend, every other student spending for their own career. Unless you spend these 2 years for you to learn technologies, to learn whatever is syllabus, understand what's happening in the industry, the technical trend, it will be very difficult to get into a lucrative job. So, adapt whatever is coming fresh in the market. Generative AI, we did a survey, we did a research with Oxford Economics to understand the economic impact of these new technologies like generative AI coming to market. So, the outcome is these new technologies, especially generative AI and agentic AI, is going to give $1 trillion productivity by 2032. It will significantly impact 50% of workforce the way they work. 90% of the employment will get impacted. So next 3-4 years you can understand how the industry is going on. It is that, but those associates who are working with us, they are not going to be replaced. they will be given again one more learning. They will be giving more courses. They will be giving those platforms to learn new things. In fact, I'm very, very proud that Cognizant as a company, we did a online hackathon through this generative AI vibe coding, and 53,000 associates from Cognizant participated in that across 40 countries. 30,000 prototypes developed within 10 days of time. 30,000 prototypes. And we made a Guinness Book of Records. We just made a Guinness World Record 3 days back on the maximum participation on a online hackathon during using generative AI. And see, this is what I think all organizations, whenever you land, they will give different platforms to learn. It is not that, once something learned, that stays forever. So that you have to utilize it. And the way I have seen some of the prototypes that has come, the way we used to create, the trading in the stock market, one of my team has built the entire application within 3 or 4 days of time, including putting your, what is the stock you want to buy, what position you are making it, day and closing, up to settlement. You just understand, the way technologies are evolving. Hence, I wanted to emphasize some of the points. Curiosity, adaptability, Deepak sir, your discussion. Learning, unlearning, relearning, that's again you talked about. So what I am saying is, guys, you all have to be really, really attentive. Whatever is being taught in the course, because I came at least 10 minutes delayed for this session today. And normally I cannot attend the sessions on weekdays because I have to do my day job. Today morning, one customer escalation came. I had to attend that. I had to fix that. Without fixing my own job, I cannot do. I have to be attentive. Because I am spending here 3 hours, I need to be attentive about whatever talks are happening. There is a still learning for me. I myself have learned, generative AI, LLMs, how can I use the prompts, how the LLM FinOps can be developed using that. It's not you just use LLMs. There's a huge, huge cost behind it. If you write one prompt, the number of, cycles it goes and search. Every token you send it, there is a money behind it. Your company, when you say that you are going to implement generative AI, you will not be freely allowed to write whatever prompt you want. That is very concise. You also need to learn about that. You need to learn, if you are using generative AI, how much with the less cost, how will you implement it? Because it will run every day when you put it into your customer space. So I think the learning is something you cannot do. The attentiveness, I talked about the Singh sir, you talked about ethics. That is, you cannot put your institute or the organization wherever you go, you cannot let them down at any point in time, whatever happens. Ethics is very, very important for every organization, just to make sure that we are sustained in the industry. Ethics and compliance, most of the things that you have to be carry from today onwards. You have to be showing yourself how you need to behave. especially, right? Whoever you are taking very seriously, you see now how you dress up, how do you sew in a college. You behave from day one that you are into the job. Any lessons that is done, you have to say, this is what I'm going to write it or I'm going to utilize when I get into a job. Then again, Singh sir, you talked about brainstorming workshops. That is most important. I'm not, again, it is not about only on the technology side of it, right? You have to be also seeing how will you work collaboratively in an organization. How will you bring everybody together and make as a team? If you think, no, what is the purpose of your life? You will get a job. No, nobody is not going to get a job, right? We talked about 100% placement, right? So Deepak sir talked about 100% placement also. I remember that, right? So it is not that after a placement, the life is over, right? Placement is only first step to the industry, but there is a purpose of your life. How do you contribute to the organization? It is not that only you understand technology. Right now, the combination of business analyst, the domain MBA guys, and the technologists like MCS or BTech guys, that amalgamation is most important to be very successful in this industry. Nobody likes a code unless he understands the domain and ensure that helps to the end user. So that is most important. And see that you give time to your passion also. I saw a very good, passionate singers were also there. If you have passion with you for dancing, singing, any debate, right? That also helps you to prosper in organizations. There are different groups. I think that is also most important. Even think of how will you, what is that you are going to give back to the society, right? I think those are things very important, so that once you get into a job, how all of you get integrated into any organization, understand that ethics, compliances, policies are being taken, ensure that your learning, first of all, fundamentals, you have to be very strong, be it on whatever things, and on top of that, everything goes. You think of your data storage, data processing. When those things were there, when you know that how the process happens, how the data store happens, the evaluation of technologies, it is all about how process happens faster. Either the data stores in a multi-node, or the process happens in a cluster, or you retrieve very fast, keep everything in a memory, right? Those other things are very, if fundamentally strong, adaptability to any technology doesn't take much time. So make sure that you are there, and try to, don't stick to one technology forever. All IT industries, opportunities are huge. There is, the way India is growing, the way focus is also in grow Odisha IT sector. There are a lot of initiatives are happening from different organizations, from academia, from IT, fraternity, from government. There are a lot of initiatives are happening. Starting from analyst to developers to your architects, or even you can be a individual, your startups. I think 20 to 25% of the students are also go for own companies also, right? I think that's the folks that you were talking. I think those are real things you have to think of, that how in the next 2 years you do best. So always be curious about what is your future. If the curiosity is there, I think the memorization learning that goes beyond limitations, beyond imagination also. Because I was curious, I was able to remember whatever has been discussed about each and every topic. I just wanted to see that, okay, those other things are being taught over here, or they talked over here, right? And see that you are not limiting yourself to the syllabus. Take some technical courses. Make sure that each and every, at least from IT side of it, right? Engineering students or MCA students, everybody, whenever anybody wanted to get into IT organization, right? There should be a deep, right? We call it a I model, T model, D model. When we say in a career, when somebody goes from junior to senior person. So the I model says that whenever any entry happens to IT industry, somebody should have very deep knowledge on at least one thing. Either you talk about Java or Python or any technology. You have to have deep knowledge, coding, the way you write the algorithms. So at least make sure that you are good at that, so that whenever you give interview, those are things you will crack it with no time. And then as you go to organization, along with your technology knowledge, your domain knowledge on a deep shape also will come. Then ancillary skills also will be added to that. That will really shape your entire career. As you get into your career, you will find a lot of ways how can you contribute to your family, to society, and that I think that you should be proud that first of all you have born in this era. All of you are getting so much of facilities that the industry learning is coming to you, the academia learning is coming to you, and as well as the courses that is available outside of that will give added advantage. Take best of that. I think that will help you to prosper in the life. With this, I wanted to tell that all the best to all of you for your next 2 years. And do not miss even a single day in next 2 years. I think that is what will make sure that as you all grow, get into any organization, you think that India also growing along with you. India's growth is India's population, and India's way of Indians' way of thinking of innovation, thinking of way how to get the thing done differently. So I wish all of you will be a great coder, great administrator, or you will be a great architect. Some of you will be having your own business. So keeping that in mind, think that you are not only for you, you are also for the nation. You are also for Odisha. Make sure that next 2 years you are not missing any day thinking that what you are trying to do. Thank you. All the best. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Beyond academic curriculum, you follow your passion, face the challenge, improve your skill set, and position yourself in the organization. Thank you, sir, for your words of wisdom. Hope we will not miss you in any of our student celebration in forthcoming sessions. We like to see you part of mentor of Satathon, an university unique platform created for solution to national problem. Thank you, sir. In matters of style, swim with current. In matters of principle, stand like a rock. With this note, I may now request Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Dr. Amir Kumar Rath, Vice Chancellor BPUT, to share his thoughts to our August gathering. Sir, please.
Honorable guest, Professor Barbara Oakley, Professor of Engineering, Arizona University, USA. Madam, we are grateful to you because you came here to Odisha, you came here to this college and shared your knowledge and experience to the students and faculty members. Mr. Mukesh Singh, Mr. Satish Kumar Pradhan, Devashish Mahanti, Rajalakshmi Mishra, Amitabh Nanda, Adit Sarangi, and others. A lot of things has been discussed here, isn't it? You must be feeling hungry. But let me just share a couple of things. The most important part is, one side we have MCA, another side we have MBA. India is leading IT industries. All of you know that. Go to any country, you will find an Indian. I had gone to USA, I had gone to many parts of Europe. I could see that all Indians are doing great job in IT industries. It's a great point for all of you. And we have 140 crores populations in the country. The important part is for management. The world is looking at India, if you look at the business point of views. But it's an opportunity for all of you. Being a management, I am Ahmedabad and Entrepreneurship Development Institutions of Ahmedabad. One professor was trying to explain the students in the first day of entrepreneurship lectures. You know the first question what he asked? He asked, tomorrow we are going to a vegetable market, we'll sell vegetables. How many of you are interested to come with me? This was the first story, the first lecture and first day he told that how many of you are interested to come with me. In fact, some of the students with the professors, they went to the market. They sold vegetables. See, the idea was, today we talk about experience and learning. Today we talk about creative thinking skills and critical thinking skills among the students. You should not know what is experience and learning. You should experience what is experience and learning. By way of selling vegetables, you should know what the stock I should have. Morning time, the vegetable price should go up. Okay? In the daytime, it will go down. In the evening, even further, it will go down. So how much stock you have, so that the vegetables, whatever you collected vegetables, it will be sold by the evening, day end. Okay? Their learning starts. So in that way, the learning has to take place. We talk about participative learning. Last 3 hours, people are continuously sitting. I do not know whether you are still having patience to listen to my lectures. I will shortcut it, of course. But the beautiful part is, we need to participate in the discussions. The first participation is, I want to see all of you as a leader after these 2 years, MBA, MCA. I want to see all of you as leaders. Everybody should pat yourself and say that, I want to be a leader after 2 years. Will you do that? Will you do that? Yes, we'll do it. I want to be a leader after 2 years. Please do it. 1, 2, 3. Again, repeat it. Yes, I want to see all of you as a leader after 2 years. See, I'll tell you my experience when I was there in Bangalore before 2 years. 2 years back I joined here. Before that I was there in Bangalore. I was there for almost 4.5 years. I was trying to find out what children are doing there. And when COVID started, work from home, Satish will agree with me that I have a leverage of asking Satish will, because Satish is quite junior and we almost studied in the same school. Of course, Satish is almost 10 years junior to me, or 10, 15 years. My friends are his brothers, like, okay. So I am a leverage of asking, I mean, not Satish sir or Satish, because he's a vice president of Cognizant, okay. My point here is, when you look at the IT industries, okay, work from home concept started. Till today also it's going work from home. People are dissatisfied. Can't we have work from home as far as education is concerned? Coursera is here. Okay, can't we have virtual universities? My point here is, the overall development of a student is very important within these 2 years. It's not only education. It's about team building, interacting with people, knowing about others, knowing the culture of other states, knowing the culture of other countries, knowing about self. Okay? These are all important. See, if you ask me what are the attributes I should possess after these 2 years, today is the first day after these 2 years, what are the attributes I should possess to become a successful graduates? I'll give you a list of attributes. Okay? Talk about knowledge, talk about problem analysis, talk about investigation of complex problems, talk about how to use modern tools, how to communicate, professional ethics, environment, problem solving, finance management, team building. All those points are important. So what are the inputs? Today you are like a raw materials. The raw materials will be a finished products after 2 years. Okay, raw materials will be a finished products. Finished products will be sellable in the market. Let me tell you some stories. When I used to interact with the industries. Sometimes industries go for recruitment for rejection. I have 2,000 students. Suppose tomorrow you will tell Satish to recruit 100 people out of 2,000 students, 2,000 graduates. What they will do? I will have some mechanism to reject 1,500. Okay, when you are rejecting, you should feel that I am successful, that let the opportunity will be given to somebody else. I will do something else. That is very, very important. Don't depress yourself. Life is very interesting. Don't depress yourself in any kind of situations. Due to that, we started courses like Universal Human Values. We started courses like Indian Knowledge System. That's very, very important. You should know what is the value system. Quality of life in each day is important. You are sitting here today. When you go back, you should know that what I did today, what was the learning experience today. All the speakers, they spoke about learn, unlearn and relearn. Principal spoke about learn, unlearn and relearn. Of course, Satish spoke about learn, unlearn and relearn. What I should relearn today? What is the learning experience today? What is the quality of life? How to improve? How to go about it? Don't be depressed about any kind of scenario. I was talking to the parents when the first day of induction program at BPUT. I told them, if anything is there, discuss with father, discuss with mother. This is your second home. You discuss with parents. I told the parents, when a child has got a daring to talking something to you, you encourage them. Let him discuss with all of you so that the problem can be solved. So today people are talking about quantum computing. Today people are talking about quantum computing. Like if it is 8-bit instructions, if you talk about one instructions at a time executions, or maybe talk about a supercomputers, 2 to the power 8 instructions will be executed simultaneously in a quantum computing if it is a 8 qubit. Today people are talking about that. When there is a encryption of 256 bit, it takes years together in a supercomputer to break the password. But in a quantum computers, it will take few minutes. Now the world is moving towards that. I am sure if talk about artificial intelligence, talk about machine learning, talk about generative AI, talk about your chat GPT, but you try to exercise your mind. That's important. Today, when a school children, a project is given to a school children, he looks at chat GPT and find out what is the solution of that. I urge all of you, please make your life these 2 years, try to get maximum knowledge within these 2 years. If you spend quality time in 2 years, you will enjoy 40 years in life. These 2 years for all of you is very, very important. And okay, yeah, because today we talk about outcome-based educations, not that how many students got more than 90% of marks. No. What is important is at the end of the day, at the end of 2 years, I want to know what is the knowledge, skills, competencies, attitudes, and behaviors developed by the students when they go from first year to second year to third year, and things like that. So those skills, competencies are very, very important. The digital education now, getting materials are very, very easy, but how to read and get things done or understand is very difficult, because this is a mobile world. Student generation G generation is digital generations. All of you are, everybody has been having one or two mobiles. Immediately if there is a beep sound, immediately you look at the WhatsApp whether I got a message. With this generation, learning is very important. So digital learning plays a vital role for the students. Okay, together, definitely, I'm sure together will make a difference. You've given me 10 minutes, now it's already 12 minutes. I've got a lot of things to speak, but I don't want, maybe sometimes later, I got a lot of quotations like live as if you were to die tomorrow, but learn as if you were to live forever. That's very important, said by Mahatma Gandhi. I'm sure that, your 2 years time will be fruitful and meaningful, and I wish all of you a grand success. Thank you very much.
It's true that experiential learning by doing yourself, quality of life is need of hour. Learn, unlearn, and relearn. Express your thought to us to gain insight and improve your future performance. Your active involvement is highly required than passive reception of informations. Thank you, sir, for your valuable insight. It's your Constitution College, and we feel indeed proud to see you in our presence. I would request all of our students for a great applause for his unconditional support and gracious presence. Thank you, sir. May I now request Dr. Debasis Mahanti, HOD MBA, to address our newcomers. Sir, please.
Good afternoon, Honorable Vice Chancellor of BPUT, respected dignitaries on and up the dais, and my faculty colleagues and my dear students of MBA and MCA. So first of all, I thank you all newcomers for patience listening. So on behalf of Cime, I welcome you all newcomers. Again, I will give you guarantee. On behalf of Cime, for next 2 years, related, when you are choosing Cime, I'll assure you on behalf of Cime for best faculty, best teaching practice, best of all things on related to academics. Okay. It is both a privilege and pleasure to welcome you all the Cime family. Today marks the beginning of a new chapter in your lives, a chapter filled with opportunity to learn, to grow, and to shape yourself into not only capable professionals but also responsible citizens of society. Whether you have chosen MBA or MCA, your time at Cime will go far beyond classrooms teaching. Here you are entering into a vibrant ecosystem that values knowledge, skills, innovation, and character building in equal measures. Again, everybody is giving due stress on learning. My focus is related to you, related, stress, balanced life. Never give due stress on learning always, because you have to maintain a balanced life and give health and relationship. Equally important for your future also. So learning is important, simultaneously playing and keeping relationship and involved in different activities also important for your lives. Okay, again, I'm being a HOD of MBA. I will assure you all MBA students for your different type of activities. Of course, you know Cime is both linked with MCA and MBA. MCA is a technical areas and MBA is a business related area. It's a combination of all tools. And you know, India is giving due priorities and leader of IT industry. Of course, you know, IT industry is based on domain knowledge, and without MBA students or domain knowledge, IT industry cannot explore. What I know actually. And being a chartered accountant, it's a combination of both the technology and industry, business industry. Okay. So dear students, always remember that success here will not depend solely on what you learn, but on how you apply that learning, how you share it, and how you transfer it into meaningful action. Be curious, disciplined, and participative, and most importantly, dare to challenge yourself. The next 2 years will shape the next 20 years of your career. So make the most of every opportunity Cime provides, both inside and outside in the classroom. Try to be participate in all that. As Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam so beautifully said, learning gives creativity. Creativity leads to thinking. Thinking provides knowledge, and knowledge makes you great. Let us begin this journey with enthusiasm, collaboration, and a commitment to excellence. Together, we will ensure that your time at Cime is not just educational, but truly transformational. Thank you, and once again, welcome to Cime family. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for your vibrant words to our newcomers. Give him a great applause. Dear students, we will have separate session where we all will be with you to share our planned programs and how to march together. May I now request Dr. Rajalakshmi Mishra, HOD MCA, to address the newcomers. Ma'am, please.
Good afternoon to all present over here. Respected Vice Chancellor BPUT, Dr. Amika Kumar Raj sir, respected Principal sir, all the dignitaries present on the dais and off the dais, all the faculty members, and my dear students. It gives me immense pleasure to extend a warm welcome to you all on this occasion of Orientation Day. First of all, I like to congratulate all of you for taking admission or deciding to take admission in this college. You are now part of a proud academic community that values knowledge, discipline, and innovation. Orientation marks the beginning of important journey in your life, a journey of learning, discovery, and transformation. We strongly believe in a holistic development. Along with academics, we encourage you to participate in workshops, hackathons, seminars, cultural and sport activities. These experiences will shape your personality and make you industry ready. Remember that employers today do not seek only for technical knowledge or technical skill, but they also look for leadership qualities, communication ability, and teamwork spirit. Dear students, the world of technology is changing very fast or very incredible pace. Artificial intelligence, machine learning, cybersecurity, cloud computing, these are not just buzzwords today, but the real opportunity waiting for you. The skill you acquire here will empower you to the future leaders in IT, research and entrepreneurship. My sincere advice to all the MBA and MCA students, be curious, ask questions and never hesitate to learn. Then the second piece of advice is to manage your time wisely and make the best use of resources provided. Respect your teachers, peers and the institution. Most importantly, believe in yourself because your attitude will determine your altitude. I assure you that you are in safe hands, safe and capable hands. All our faculty members are dedicated in guiding you, mentoring you and helping you to become future-ready professionals. Once again, I welcome all of you to this Cime family and I wish you a happy learning period of 2 years. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Grab your knowledge from your professor as much as you can. Thank you, ma'am, for your warm words. May I now invite Dr. Amitabh Nanda, Senior Faculty, MBA Department, for a vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, one and all present over here. Good afternoon. Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, esteemed dignitaries on and off the dais, respected faculty members, staffs, parents, and dear students. On behalf of this institute, it is my privilege and pleasure to extend a heartfelt vote of thanks on this orientation day. First and foremost, I wish to express our deepest gratitude to our honorable chief guest, respected Vice Chancellor of BPUT, Professor Dr. Amay Kumar Rath, for taking his time from his busy schedule to grace this occasion and share your inspiring thoughts with us. Your words have given our freshers the motivation to dream big, work hard, and make the best of their time here. Thank you, sir. We are grateful to our honorable chief guest speaker, Professor Dr. Barbara Oakley, Professor of Engineering, Arjuna University and Oakley University, USA, for joining us today. Your inspiring words, valuable insights, and thought-provoking ideas have truly enriched this session and given our students a new perspective of learning. Thank you, ma'am. We express our deepest gratitude to our guest of honor, Mr. Mukesh Singh, Group Head, HR, Typical, Odisha, for enlightening our students with thought-provoking insights. Thank you, sir. We are grateful to Honorable Chief Speaker, Mr. Satish Kumar Pradhan, Vice President, SBU Head, Practice, Center Head, Cognizant, Odisha, for joining us today and making the event more memorable with your valuable insight. Once again, thank you, sir. We are also grateful to Mr. Ajit Kumar Sadangi, CTO, OSDA, for motivating our students with his kind advice. Thank you, sir. Our sincere thanks to respected Principal Cime, Professor Deepak Kumar Sahu, for your constant guidance, encouragement, and for taking the lead the institution towards excellence. Thank you, sir. A special word of appreciation goes to both our HOD, MBA and MCA, and all our faculty members who dedicate themselves to shape the academic and personal growth of students. Your commitment is true backbone to our success. I extend my warm appreciation to all new students and their parents for being with us today. Your trust in this institution motivates us to continue striving for excellence. Last but not the least, heartfelt thanks to the organizing committee, student volunteers, support staffs, those who work hard for making this program a grand success. A special thanks to Dr. Vidya Das for coordinating and anchoring this event so nicely. Thank you, madam. Once again, I thank each and every one of you for your presence, enthusiasm, and contribution to making this orientation day a memorable start for our new students. Thank you all. Thank you. Madam, sir, madam, madam, launch second hub. You may join for the lunch. Lunch provision is there. After that, shortly.